Hello everyone, my name is Edwin Broni-Mensah and I'm the water guy and the founder of an organisation called GiveMeTap. So today I just wanted to sort of take you through my journey to actually being a university student, sort of talking to UnLtd, and then actually going to start a social enterprise and a social business called GiveMeTap. But just to start with, I just wanted to give you a brief outline about what GiveMeTap exactly is about. So we're all about redefining the way people consume water on the go. And we're trying to do that in a way that's really sustainable, that we can then also help people in Africa get access to clean drinking water. So part of my story is I start with this thing about being selfish and what that exactly means, but I'll give it some context as I go through my story. So back in 2009, I was a university student in Manchester, where I've been for like 9 years. I loved it there. I was doing my PhD in mathematics for all the maths lovers. It was during that time that I was at 24 years old, and in 9 months' time, I was going to turn 25. And for me, like some men, being 25 was a really significant age. When I was a lot younger, I said to myself that 25 was probably the best year of my life, because I had this mental image that when you get to 25, you have a great year, and then sort of everything goes downhill from there. So in that year, I knew that 9 months' time was coming. I thought, well, I have to better prepare myself. I have to get all the right attributes, strengths, skills necessary to have, if you like, the best year I'm ever going to have in my whole life. So I set off on a journey where I decided to really immerse myself in a lot of learning, educational books about spirituality, about manhood, what it meant to be a man, exactly what that meant, and then also what it meant to be successful and fit. And so I'll draw closely to this thing called P90X. And for those that don't know it, it's a fitness program where for 90 days you work out every day. And the aim is for you to get what all men want, a six-pack. So I decided that was going to be my mission. My mission of 24 years was to go and be 25 with a six-pack. Right? So with that mission, I decided to see how true these fitness programs were. And I decided I was going to follow it verbatim. I was going to do exactly what it said. If it told me to eat what to eat, I did it. It told me to drink what I should drink, so I did it. And in that program, it told me to drink 5 liters of water every single day. And now, for me, that's quite a lot. I mean, some people think the recommended daily average is about 2 liters a day. Now, I weighed myself, and based on what I was weighed then was 95 kilograms. I should drink in 4 to 5 liters every single day. So then I'm going to tell you a bit about my story. So, you know, in the UK, we can easily turn on a tap and you get free-flowing water, no qualms, no problems. And I could drink to my heart's content when I was at home, especially after exercising. But once I'd left my home, it was quite a different matter. I was presented with a bottle, which I was encouraged or somewhat forced and edged to drink from, which is a plastic bottle. And now, over the last 30 years, this is a growing phenomenon where more and more of us are moving away from, let's say, sugary beverages, but drinking out of plastic bottled water. Now, for me, there was many a hidden cost to this. Some being it financially. I was a university student trying to save money in those pennies, and I was spending it on this stuff every single day, you know, because I wanted a six-pack. I was committed to this stuff. But at the same time, there's all these other hidden costs. So you look at the amount of wastage, some 13 billion plastic bottles are getting consumed every single year. Only about 20 to 30% of them actually ever getting recycled. So we have a huge landfill waste problem. I mean, you can circulate these bottles around the earth multiple times, and that just shows you the scale by which these plastic bottles get consumed almost instantly and then just discarded in the litter bins. And then you have issues around water scarcity. Now, a lot of bottled water actually gets taken from areas which are under actually water stress and then get bottled and shipped around the world so that we can actually drink it. And so it really got me thinking, you know, why is it exactly that are we drinking out of plastic bottles when we have probably some of the best water actually in the whole world? And I sort of whittled it down to sort of 3 things, being a sort of embarrassment. It's quite British to not ask for tap water when you're out somewhere. And that fear of rejection of someone actually saying no. Because I was actually experiencing a lot, and it was from that personal story of me trying to actually drink 4 to 5 liters a day when I was at university. I'd be going through campus, and then I'd pop into a store because I'd have a bottle, and it's quite useless when this bottle's empty. So I'd go in store and say, well, you know, can I fill up some water? I can clearly see they have water behind them. They have a tap there. But they'd often look at me with disdain, think I was a cheapskate, and just say, no, get out, or why don't you buy something first? And I thought, well, I'm a human being. Why? The same way, you know, I just need some water. They were preventing me. It's sort of the same way when you want to go use the toilet, you have to sneak into a McDonald's or something and quickly go and use it without anyone watching. And it's those sort of basic things that I thought, you know, there must be something I could do that could change the way people were sort of experienced it. And, you know, contrast that to the fact that 1 in 10 people around the world don't have access to clean drinking water. So there's some 750 million people around the world right now that currently still don't have access to something that we take somewhat for granted every single day when we turn on our taps. Some women are spending some 200 million hours every single year just collecting drinking water. And that drinking water isn't actually clean and safe drinking water. It's heavily polluted water like this picture sort of depicts. And so I really thought to myself, how could I get my brain ticking to think, how could I help people in the UK, but contrast that and also help people at the same time in Africa while still trying to get my six-pack. And so the idea came about of starting an organization, and that organization was called GiveMeTap. And so essentially what GiveMeTap is that we manufacture and create stainless steel water bottles where for every single water bottle that you buy, you're able to get free water from a network of cafes and restaurants that will give you water for free, and essentially we can then use that money that we get to take a portion of that to then fund water projects in Africa. And so there's numerous benefits, and some of these things have changed in our model is that we actually just now have whittled it down to almost sort of how Tom's has got this sort of one-for-one model. We just say basically for every one bottle that you buy, you help one person get clean drinking water. And so essentially it's water for you and water for everyone. So over the last few years, we've had some really cool successes. We've been able to grow quite rapidly. Now, I started at the University of Manchester, then I moved it down to London just before the Olympic Games. We did a partnership with Boris Johnson's office to sort of create London drinking water maps for the Olympics to hand out to people so you could all stay hydrated during that time. And then on some cool occasions, I was front page of The Observer, which was really awesome on March the 6th when I woke up. To get loads of bottle sales, and we were able to fund a few water projects, and it's really helped us to scale and spread the message about how important social business practice is, that, through simple purchases, we can actually change, people's lives here, from enabling them to really stay hydrated and healthy, and how we can help people around the world get that same benefit. So I'm really happy that sort of the media have really allowed us to really raise awareness about the importance of just clean drinking water. And on top of that, we've been able to win a host of awards. And namely, I had the idea for GiveMeTap actually back in 2009 in October. And sort of when I had the idea, I was very fortunate that, the skills I was given, I was a computer programmer and a mathematician. So for me, going into the space of water is really quite new. But I thought, well, why has God blessed me with this? So I must be able to use some of that, my other talent. So one of that was to develop my own website, which I put together quite quickly. And then I went to UnLtd and I said, look, I have this idea. I haven't got any sales. I've got nothing, but I think I want to solve this problem. And they were really supportive, encouraging to give me that first initial, it was sort of the Higher Educational HEFKI Fund, which gave me that first award. And I was saying to one of my friends just earlier, actually, that, this has this sort of effect that it's kind of, I like to call it the girlfriend effect. So when you get one girlfriend, the rest sort of come. And as an organization, we've been able to win 14 business awards in the last 2.5 years, which has really helped us to grow, to get capital in, to expand what we're trying to do and really solve this social mission. And so over the last few years, we've been able to sort of expand, and I can't really show the picture there, but we've been doing some more, support with corporate organizations and helping them to reduce their impacts through reducing the amount of plastic cups. So maybe some of you work in offices where you use a lot of these plastic cups. Now, for example, some of the firms we work with waste 2 million cups every single year in just one office. And these global organizations are doing this on a weekly basis, monthly basis. So we thought, well, how could we help those organizations keep their staff hydrated, but at the same time stop the amount of plastic cups that actually get thrown away almost instantly? Because you have 100 mils, you need to hit that quickly. It's nowhere near enough. So we've been working with these firms to actually now help them reduce that and to fund the water projects. And sort of the really key thing for me is that what's really strange is I have never really been into social business. I was a young boy. I grew up in Edmonton, and for me, all I wanted to do was make computer games when I was 7 years old and came back from America. To me, making games was the most fun ever. That's what I did. I thought I could be a programmer. So I set out to make games, and I started doing that. I went to university and did maths, computer science, then got a job in the corporate world and got a scholarship that came back to university. And for me, that sort of journey now to end up as a social entrepreneur really resonates with the fact that I think it's really important for people to build themselves and to really invest in yourself. And don't feel it so much of being selfish. And that 24th year of my life was so important that I really, really developed myself. And a note on sort of success, I got the six-pack, which was really, really important for me at that time, which I subsequently lost because of too much work. But I had it in that year, and that was a really important thing. And I really sort of pushed to other people to, really, sometimes we all want to help and give a lot, as much as we can. I think it's equally important to give as much to yourself and to really develop yourself, because then you can give in a kind of purer way. And that's what I've sort of learned over this journey, and, you know, have as much fun as possible. So I guess I wanted to sort of leave you with a little quote, all sort of about just yourself. And this sort of quote has been really gained popularity from being in Coach Carter, the movie. I don't know if some of you have seen it, but it's all about just really appreciating the talents that we all have. And that's something that I use to remind myself of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, the reason why I get up every morning to help more people get water. And that gives me some real strong conviction. So I guess I'd say to each one of you, you know, what's the one thing that you can change or develop in yourself that can actually then subsequently help other people? So thank you, everyone.